Hi friends, welcome to Kindergarten Writing. This is Module 8, Week 4, Lesson 16. And the title of our lesson will be Planning an Opinion Piece. Our focus question will be how can we generate or think of and come up with and record ideas for an opinion writing piece. So that brings us right into our lesson objective. Today we will generate or think of and come up with and record ideas for opinion writing by organizing an opinion with reasons. And we've been here before, we've done this before. So this should be something that is familiar to us. Before we can do any of that, here's a super important vocabulary word that we'll be using a lot today. Opinion, say it with me, opinion, very nice. An opinion is what someone feels or thinks about something. I think we're ready to get started. Our writing prompt this week will be what should we grow in the school garden? Now remember, one way to share our opinion with someone is to write a letter. So this week, we are going to work on writing a letter to show our opinion about what we should grow in the school garden. Now, just like any other writing piece, we're going to take a look at our writing process. And you know it, we'll be starting at plan. That is always the first step of the writing process, to plan our writing piece and think of the ideas that we'll be writing. So like we went over, an opinion tells what we feel or think about something. And when you start to say words like I think, I like, I feel, you're giving your opinion. But it's important to remember that different people may have different opinions about the same thing. I may want to grow something in the school garden and you may want to grow something different. And that's okay. We can have different opinions about the same thing. So I thought, let's use Rainbow Stew as a good place to kind of think about what they grew in their garden. Maybe it will give us some ideas about what we want to grow in our garden, because the children, they found so many different things in Grandpa's garden, so many different plants and vegetables, right? So we're going to start to brainstorm or think of a list of plants to grow in the school garden. Then we'll choose one of those plants to be the topic of our opinion piece. Now, if your school maybe doesn't have a garden, or maybe you can't get to your school's garden, you could think about something to grow in your home. Or maybe even write a letter to the school saying, we need a garden. So many different options here, but first let's start to brainstorm a list of plants that we might like to grow, whether at school or maybe at home. So what plants should we grow? Now remember, everyone has different opinions. So this chart, it's going to be filled with tons of different things, and that's great. That gives us a lot of ideas to brainstorm. What do you think we should grow? Let's use this sentence starter to make sure that we're giving our opinion and our reasons. Listen, I think we should grow because, so let me tell you mine. I think we should grow pumpkins because in the fall, we could have a pumpkin patch and go pumpkin picking and then study the pumpkin seeds and the inside of the pumpkin. So I'm gonna put pumpkins on our chart here because I think that that's what we should grow in our school garden. Yeah, that's what I think. And maybe you agree with me. Maybe that's your opinion too. Maybe it's not. Now, in just a minute, it will be your turn to add to this chart. So I'm going to explain this, then you'll stop the video. Go onto your Google Forms to give your opinion so that your teacher can add it to the chart, and come on back here and press play so we can finish the rest of our assignment. So before you press pause, let me show you what it would look like on Google Forms so that you feel ready to do it with your grown-up in just a minute. So let me pull that up for us. So here is our Google Forms, and it says, what plants should we grow in the school garden? And you'll see our chart here. You'll see that pumpkins is on there because that's what I chose to put on there. And then you'll get to type your answer down here. So this might be a good place for your grown-up to help you out to type this answer. So, let's think of something else, another opinion. Oh, I also think that sunflowers would be a great addition to our school garden because they grow really tall, and when they bloom, they're absolutely beautiful. So I think that that would be a good thing to add to the school garden. So I'll type sunflowers in right there, hit submit, and then there you go. Now your teacher will have your answer to add to your chart and fill it with everybody's opinion from the whole class. Are you ready? Grab your grown-up to help you type your answer into Google Forms. Ready, set, pause. Did you type in your opinion into Google Forms for your chart? Oh, great. And it's really important that you keep that idea, that opinion in your brain because we'll need it for the next part of our assignment. Today, we are also going to work on building our opinion piece, our planning of our opinion piece on paper too. So keep in your brain what it was that you wanted to grow in the garden. And let's get started. So I said we should grow pumpkins. So I'm going to go ahead and start with an uppercase W here because we know that capital letters start a sentence. Then I'll have my lowercase. We, make a space, should grow. I don't think I'll fit the word pumpkins here, but that's okay. I'm just gonna pop down here and write it down here. Pumpkins. Now this does look like the start of a sentence, right? It's all the way at the end like this one is, but it's still part of the same thought. So it's still part of the same sentence. So we're going to keep that lowercase. Pumpkin. And then I'll put a period to show that my sentence is over. Yeah, that was my opinion that I shared on Google Forms. So that's what I'm going to use right here. I think we should grow pumpkins. And then, of course, I'm going to want to draw a picture of a pumpkin and label it, right? And if I want, I could draw a whole pumpkin patch, make it extra fancy, and then label it and make sure that you are showing a nice detailed picture of your opinion. After you are done with this, we practiced this last week, but I want to remind you, after you are done with this, you're going to go on Padlet, drop your writing planning into your Padlet, and then check out your other classmates' opinions. See what they'd like to grow in the garden. Before I send you to do that, let me just remind you what that looks like. So after you finish, you'll take a picture of your work and then pull up your class Padlet to drop that picture in. Let me pull up my Padlet to show you exactly how I would do it. So here is my class Padlet, and you'll see some other friends have already done an apple tree and sunflowers, and I want to add my pumpkin one to here. So I'm going to drag it onto the screen. See how it's turning all yellow? It's showing me that it's got my picture there. I'm going to drag it. It's uploading. Perfect. Now my pumpkin writing piece is there so that the whole class can see it. And then I can go and look at everybody else's. I can give it a like or a comment saying, great job, or I love apple trees too. Have fun, guys. Take your time and make sure to make your work nice and neat. Bye. See you soon.